What's up, guys? Aaron here. So Trump wins the election and the stock market and the crypto markets are rallying, but will it last? What will happen at the end of this year and next year? And what am I doing? Am I holding Bitcoin only? Am I buying altcoins? When will I be selling? All that kind of stuff I'm going to be talking about in this video. So I'm going to touch on a lot. I'm going to touch on a couple charts showing what happens in previous cycles to give everybody an idea of what we will be looking at moving forward and what the past can teach us, and then a couple tweets that I think are incredibly bullish. So let me just start out with some charts, guys, and then I'll wrap up with what am I doing. So if you're new here to the station, welcome. I've been in crypto, or I purchased my first crypto in 2013, and I have been through, I forgot how many cycles this is, but a lot. I've been here a while, I've seen a lot, and hopefully I can help you out. So the first thing I want to talk about right here, Bitcoin year-to-date ROI. I'm going to touch on this because it's really indicative of what usually happens when there is a presidential election, which corresponds to when there is a Bitcoin halving. So starting here very quickly, we can see that for the previous two halving years, the price of Bitcoin really rallies the end of that year. So Q4, which would be of this year. Bitcoin year to date. So this is each year. 2016, it went up a ton from where we are right now. And then 2020, the price of Bitcoin went up a ton as well. So first reason why I am still very bullish. Next, we have ROI after the cycle bottom. Same thing applies here. Let me just take out the first two cycles because those happened a long time ago. We are this magenta line, and this is the ROI, so return on investment since there was the bottom for the market. Now, the bottom for this cycle happened in November of 2022 when FTX collapsed 2 years ago. And again, you can see here that previous cycles shows that we have a long way to go. Possibly another 5x if we look at the last cycle for the price of Bitcoin. So that would put the price of Bitcoin at just under $300,000 or so. And that's not even including what's going on with Trump in the White House and what that means. All of these bills passing where they may have an actual strategic reserve of Bitcoin. So I'm going to get to all of that in just a moment, but I'm just giving you guys like a landscape, kind of like a 10,000 foot view of what's going on here. So the next chart, we have Bitcoin ROI after the halving. Bitcoin ROI after the halving. The halving happened in May. And again, previous years show that there is still a huge ROI after the halving. So right now we are right here in green. You can see the previous cycles right on top. Let me take out halving one because that was a very long time ago. The last halving cycle was in orange. And this chart just shows that we have a long way to go if it matches with previous years. So the next chart I want to share has to do with altcoins. And what do I think about altcoins? Altcoins are everything except Bitcoin in this world. And this is a chart showing the Bitcoin dominance without stablecoins. So taking away USDC, Tether, and this is year-to-date ROI of Bitcoin's dominance. So as the Bitcoin dominance goes up, the relative price to altcoins goes down in general, right? So how much Bitcoin you can buy for that specific altcoin goes down. So it makes more sense as Bitcoin dominance goes up to be holding on to Bitcoin and not altcoins. So what this shows is that historically, in 2016 and in 2020, so the previous two halving years, Bitcoin dominance continues to go up from where we are right now. So you can see 2016, this green line continues to go up. And in 2020, it had this very large leg up as well. So if you want to be holding altcoins, I think that now until the end of the year would be a really good time to dollar cost average into altcoins and begin to buy them. You can wait a little bit longer, and you could just not buy altcoins if that's what you want to do and just stick to Bitcoin. But I believe that now, going into early 2025, will be a good year to be holding on to some altcoins. Now, what altcoins to buy, that is up to you. I like Solana. I think some meme coins will hold out. So you can see that altcoins have really rallied since Bitcoin has rallied. These are just different categories of altcoins. So they're up on average 20 to 30% for the entire category. AI meme coins up 19%, cat meme coins up 19%, frog meme coins up 19%, Solana meme coins up 17%. So I believe that if Bitcoin continues to rally, it will correspond with a massive altcoin rally. That will happen, in my opinion. I don't really see that not happening. So now could be a good time to be buying. whatever altcoins you want to buy, maybe some that you really, really like. I think Ethereum and Solana will do very well next year if there is a massive altcoin rally. I also think the massive news with crypto.com will really impact the price of CRO. So if there's a massive altcoin rally, I could see this and others doing quite well. So let's take a look at some tweets, which are incredibly bullish, guys. So Eric Trump, the child or one of the children of Donald, says America must lead the way. And he retweeted Michael Saylor of MicroStrategy, his tweet saying, we have a Bitcoin president. So we have literally the child of the president, a massive Bitcoin bull. That is huge.
Bitcoin is going to the moon, as we say, it's going to the moon.
The vice president, JD Vance, he has a public Bitcoin position worth between $310,000 and $618,000. So will these policymakers, will these government officials be doing things to pump their own bags to make them wealthier? I think the answer is a clear yes. And that leads me here. Senator Cynthia Lummis has put forward a bill for the government to buy 200,000 Bitcoin per year over 5 years for a total of 1 million Bitcoin. At today's price, that would be worth $76 billion. And if you think that's weird, the US publicly holds around $540 billion of gold. And now that number is a ton more because this was taken back in 2023, and gold has massively rallied this year. So for them to purchase 1 million Bitcoin, which at today's price would be just 76 billion, and they have well over 600 billion of gold, that would not be something out of the question at all. And if you don't remember, RFK Jr. at the Bitcoin 2024 event in Nashville this year, he wants to buy 4 million Bitcoin if he gets elected, which obviously he's not, but he is very, very close with Donald Trump and is obviously going to be doing a lot in his administration for public health and taking on big pharma, etc. So we have RFK Jr., we have Donald Trump's son and probably multiple sons, a lot of people that are massive Bitcoin bulls, including his literal VP, who has hundreds of thousands of dollars of Bitcoin. And then here, Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, said 219 plus pro-crypto candidates and counting have now been elected to the House and Senate. Americans disproportionately care about crypto and want clear rules of the road for digital assets. And he's really talking about the craziness that was going on, not anymore, with Gary Gensler and the SEC. Donald Trump said, Gary, you're fired if I get elected.
On day one, I will fire Gary Gensler and appoint a new SEC chairman.
And he probably will be fired. And that's going to be good for the industry because Gary has been holding back a lot of innovation. Companies have been afraid to build and start companies in the United States because the clarity on the regulations were so opaque and confusing for so many years. So to finish up, there will always be bad news about Bitcoin and crypto. There will always be something about the economy this, recession this, yield curve that, all these reasons why maybe the entire economy is going to crash, right? But that's always the case, and it always will be the case. There will always be narratives that will be bearish for the entire economy and also for digital assets and Bitcoin. But again, we are in this 4-year cycle, and every 4 years, the price of Bitcoin radically goes up. And now we have a pro-Bitcoin president, a pro-Bitcoin VP, and many people in the government that are pro-Bitcoin and crypto. So we have the normal, really, really bullish case for Bitcoin and crypto, plus we have the added elements of pro-government officials. So I think it's just going to be fuel to the fire to make this a massive, massive bull market in 2025. So am I selling my Bitcoin? No, I am not selling my Bitcoin. They're probably going to put Bitcoin on the balance sheet, just like they have gold on the balance sheet. That would be insane. Other countries would then have to do the same thing to compete because Bitcoin is a scarce asset. It has a known issuance and you can't just make more whenever you want. And that could literally be the catalyst for global Bitcoin adoption. So there are so many things going in favor of Bitcoin adoption and the increased price of Bitcoin. No way would I be selling Bitcoin. Now, if Bitcoin hits $1 million, could I take some profits? Yeah, sure. I'll touch on that if that happens. Don't worry. I will let you know if I decide to take some profits. But if you want to take profits anytime, please take profits because If I have learned anything since being in crypto since 2013, it's that it's better to take profits earlier than round trip your bags, as they call it. So this especially relates to altcoins, because many times my altcoins have been up 100x and then they go down 90%, and then I have to wait many, many years, and they often don't come back to that price. So taking profits is great. I'm not telling you not to do so. Myself, I am not taking profits on my Bitcoin right now. There are way too many reasons why I shouldn't. But for altcoins, if you have an altcoin that goes up 10, then 50x, then 100x, I think it's really smart to take profits. Take little bits of profit along the way, and always hold a very small moon bag in case that altcoin decides to do a 1000x like some of them have done. But other than that, guys, I'm very excited for the end of this year and also 2025. Make sure to subscribe if you have not already, because I will be covering all of this stuff in a lot more detail moving forward. Hope you guys are well. Till next time, talk with you soon, and bye for now.